What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. So look, you guys, I know most of you guys know already that R. Kelly was found guilty on all counts. I believe he was guilty of racketeering and he was guilty of sex trafficking. That's not even what I'm here to talk about, because let's be clear. I've told y'all, if you follow me, you follow my channel, y'all know how I feel about the situation. Y'all know how I feel about the R. Kelly situation, and I figured it was a matter of time before somebody was going, whether it was here. Let's not forget he still has charges in New York. He still has charges in Atlanta. So I figured somebody was going to get him. But I came across this article a moment ago, and this is coming from Yahoo News. And it says here that R. Kelly was not anticipating the guilty verdict. His defense attorney says, as the star faces decades in jail. Now, let me just read y'all this article a little bit here, okay? R. Kelly's defense attorney, Devereaux Canick, said his client was not anticipating this verdict after a jury found the musician guilty on all charges at his trial for racketeering and sex trafficking. The jury returned this guilty verdict in a Brooklyn courtroom. I'm sorry, these were his New York charges, or were these the federal charges? Child, I can't keep up. On Monday the 27th September, after less than 2 days of deliberation. He was charged with racketeering predicated on criminal conduct including sexual exploitation of children, kidnapping, forced labor, and Mann Act violations involving the coercion and transportation of women and girls in interstate commerce to engage in illegal sexual activity. These are his federal charges, because once it goes across state lines, it's federal. So federal. Speaking outside the court, Mr. Canick told reporters that Kelly was disappointed and not anticipating a guilty verdict when it was delivered. He also said, as I said earlier, of course Mr. Kelly is disappointed. He was not anticipating this verdict because based on the evidence, why should he anticipate this verdict? You saw witness after witness giving 3, 4, 5 different versions as to what they said happened. The government cherry-picked the version that they thought would be a continuation of the narrative that was first put out by Cheryl Mack and Surviving R. Kelly. Surviving R. Kelly was a documentary, Y'all know about what that is. If not, y'all go back and look at my reviews. I reviewed Surviving R. Kelly. Y'all go check that playlist out. I got it all right there if you ain't seen it. The 54-year-old now faces 10 years to life in prison. His sentencing is scheduled for May 4th of 2022. Now, again, I know he still has charges pending in Chicago and Atlanta, I guess. So those were his federal charges. Now, we know that federal charges, you do, what is it? You have to do 75% of your time, or is it 75%? Anyway, it's a high percentage. Like, it ain't no time early for good behavior type situation. Like, you doing the majority of whatever you are sentenced to. And the fact that he is, they said that a minimum of 10 years in jail up to life, I guess. Baby, R. Kelly, you better go on and just organize that prison choir, because that's where you're going to be singing for the next however many years. He's 54 now. Even if he just get the 10 years that he's sentenced to, he's going to be 64 before he's smelling, well, they probably give him time served, because he's been in jail for like 2 years at this point. So, if he don't get convicted of nothing else and he get the minimum, he might be out by his 61st birthday. Maybe. But I don't think that's what he gonna get, and I don't think these are the last of his charges that he gonna be convicted of, because the hardest part is that first one. Like, at this point, anywhere he go, they're gonna take the playbook from what the feds did and just do the same thing all over again in Chicago and do the same thing in Atlanta. I'm sure the charges are gonna be different, but I'm sure they're pretty similar enough that all they got to do is put this same playbook in place. Am I happy that he was convicted? Yes, because I think this was a long time coming, and I think he's guilty. That's my opinion. Y'all can say what y'all want to say about it in the comments. That's fine. But the fact that, and I guess you have to be positive, but I really think him anticipating or not anticipating this and being disappointed, I think it just goes back to the fact that he has gotten away with it for so long. Like, R. Kelly, I can go back to maybe it was 20 years ago now when that sex tape first leaked, and we literally saw R. Kelly engaging in sex with a 13-year-old child. Now, we're not going to rehash it. We're not going to talk about why he wasn't charged and who said what and who didn't say what and who recanted and who got paid off. Listen, we ain't getting into all of that. But at the end of the day, where there's smoke, there's fire. Everybody ain't lying on this man. Everybody ain't lying on his man. Now, y'all can blame the parents and say that the parents are culpable. You can make an argument for that. It don't change what he did. Y'all can talk about Aaliyah and be like, oh, but her mama knew what was going on. That may be very well true. It don't change what he did. We could talk about the 13-year-old where a 13-year-old can't consent. Legally, they can't consent. So that don't matter either. It doesn't matter if she willingly took her happy ass down to that studio every day and willingly engaged in this behavior with him. She can't give consent. Y'all let me know what y'all think, how y'all feel about it down in them comments. Talk to y'all later. Peace.